It's Wednesday, May the 25th, King of the Mountain State Show, presented by the Dutch Miller Auto Group. I'm Chase Hill, and today it gives me great pleasure. We're taking it all the way back to our first event, and here he is again, 10 years later. He's a lawyer, but he's an outlaw. He's the Outlawyer, Joel Baker.
What's up, Chase? You looking good, man.
Hey, been a long time. I'm so glad that you're a part of this, man. I look forward to seeing you, but definitely in the ring too. For the people who don't know, you are an attorney, but you've been in and out of the gyms, different types of training, different types of stuff you did. Tell me how you got attracted to this fight game.
Well, when I was a little kid, I was tiny. I was probably the smallest kid in my class and got picked on kindergarten, first grade. And my old man, he had a buddy who was an old school professional boxer, and he gave me my first taste of boxing. And after a few months of training with him, that kind of stuff fell by the wayside. You never got picked on after that. Then I got a little bit older and I started training with this fella's son. His name was Darius Stanley. Real good fighter, real good guy, decent coach. I didn't spend enough time with him. Once I got to college, it became other things than boxing, but we had fun. We traveled, we had a team and did some stuff. It was cool. I enjoyed it. I've done some training with, of course, Scott Kuhn. Can't give enough props to that guy. He has shown me a lot over the years. I've trained some with Shepard these days. Mike Shepard, for those of you that don't know him, he's a great guy. Can't ask for a better guy than him. So I've been doing it off and on forever.
Yeah, and it's something that you like to compete. Like a lot of people kind of can do this for a long period of time throughout their life, and maybe it's a cardio thing, a workout, a health thing, something they enjoy. They're around the fighters, but you like being in the ring too. And there's none more memorable so far than if I go back to March the 24th, 2012, King of the Coalfields.
Yeah, it was a good night.
It was my first ever event. You were the main event. You were fighting Michael Stokes, who actually flew up out of Florida. He had been in the semi-pro ranks and different stuff like that. And you took care of him that night. To this day, man, I don't know that I've heard an ovation when somebody was walking into the ring like yours that night. And I've had state title fights, regional fights. I've been all across the country with this, but you took over that night. It was awesome. Take me back. What was it like that first time there, King of the Coalfields won?
Oh, it was incredible. I mean, just being in front of friends and family, there's tons of good people from down in Boone County that, came out to give us support. And it was awesome, especially having the uncertainty that we had of that first event. We didn't really know what was going to happen. And it turned out better than I think anybody would have imagined. And, we showed the naysayers what was up. And here we are 10 years later, getting ready to do it again. And I'm excited.
One of the greatest things was it was the first time James had been the ring announcer. It's the first time I had promoted. It was the first time you were a main event, like here fighting. It was a lot of first times, and it went off well. Super exciting. And like you said, here we are 10 years later, getting ready to do it again.
Got to give a shout out to James, man. He's the best. He's the best. I don't know how you stumbled across that voice, but man, he's great.
So
and a really good guy.
Yeah. So when I told him a couple of days ago, I said, hey, you're not going to believe this, but guess who I've got added to this card? And I told him, he said, that's easy for me. He said, because Chase, I was so nervous going into the first event. I've never practiced anybody's name more than Joel, the Outlawyer Baker. So it was awesome. It came full circle. It's 10 years later. Now, you mentioned some of those guys that you've trained with and gyms and stuff you've been in over the years. What are you playing as we're inside 4 weeks here, finishing out maybe a quick camp for you, but who are you spending time with to get ready for this?
Yeah, man, this is short notice for me. I think that I told you, but nobody else really knows. I'm going to be out of town for the next week on vacation as well. So that's going to throw some wrenches in the gears as far as training goes. I've been staying in good enough shape, but I'm going to have to get into the ring. I'm probably looking back to get up with Shepard up in Parkersburg at the Doghouse Gym. Got to give those guys props. Everybody there is there to help. A lot of good cats around that gym, man. So go up there and get a lot of good work in when I get back from being out of town. Just looking forward to it. Yeah.
And he'll probably be there with you fight night. I know he's familiar with you, and he's got nothing but good to say about you too. So hopefully he's able to make it down to Charleston. The fight we're talking about is go ahead.
I got to give one more shout out, man, to my buddy Wayne Smith. He always gets me ready to go. He doesn't necessarily do a ton of the boxing drills with me. He'll do some with the mitts, but as far as getting my cardio and stuff in shape, man, he's the best.
Wayne the Warrior Smith. We've had him on our cards before, man. As far as like what you want to look like Wayne Smith, whenever he's in tip top, that's what a man wants to look like there. Sure. So I'm sure he's going to get ready.
Straight off a movie set.
Yeah, yeah. So the event we're talking about is coming up. It's our round 2 of our King of the Mountain State Amateur Tournament that we have to crown the best amateur, but we fill it with some pro fights. You'll be a professional co-main event. It's June the 18th at the Charleston Coliseum Convention Center. You'll be fighting Jared Burns. You've got a pro fight or two under your belt. Jared's got one here recently against Boggs. What we know about Jared is he is a big guy. He likes to throw power punches. He's not going to come in and try to do any slick, savvy boxing. He's there to fight. He likes to fight, whether it's in Lincoln County or in the ring, whatever. He's a big dude. You've gotten a chance to maybe see a little footage of him. Tell me how we're going to approach that fight there with Burns.
Well, I've got a couple of things to say about that. First and foremost, he appears to be a brawler to me from the fight that I saw with Brandon Boggs, and I don't mind to get in there and do that either. So it should be a really exciting fight. From the Boggs fight, the thing that I took away from Burns is that he is super tough. He got caught with a heavy right hand from Boggs, and Boggs throws bad intention punches. And I know from people that have sparred with him that he hits a ton. So he lands that right hand on Burns. Burns goes down. And most fighters that I know will take that way to get out of the ring and just get counted out. But you got to give it to Burns. And it showed his toughness because he got right back up off the mat and he hung in there going out on his shield until the ref stopped the fight. And I don't think he really had recovered from that right hand. He just got caught. So it should be a good, exciting fight. Other than that, I don't know much about him. I know he's big. I know he's strong. He's going to have a huge height and reach, weight advantage, all of it on me. And let's not forget, he's got youth on his side too. So I'm getting a little bit old for this game, but it should be a good time. I'm excited for it.
Well, and Boggs is a big man. Boggs has put down a lot of people that didn't get back up. Burns did. I mean, going into it now, you're going to be a little bit of the smaller guy in the ring against Burns. So knowing he can stand up to that, we'll see how it plays out. It's good on paper. It's exciting. I look forward to both you guys have some success that night. I'm sure you're getting a little bit of talk in the past couple of days. You and I kind of put this thing together, but now the word's starting to leak out. I'm sure some people starting to get behind you.
Yeah, up here I'm living in Ripley right now. Been here for the last 7-8 years, and it's great. But all the local people here now are starting to hear about it, and they're wanting to come out and see it, and which is cool. It's cool to have that local community support. And we're not that far from Charleston, so I'm sure we'll bring a crowd with us. I think one other thing that I would like to say about it, as far as getting excited for the fight, I'm getting really excited for the fight. A lot of people finding out that we're doing this didn't know that I had boxed in the past or still trained, anything like that. And they all want to know, why do you do this? Why are you doing this? And the people that haven't been into the ring don't understand it and really can't understand it. But for the fighters out there who are listening to this, would tell you the same thing I'm about to tell you. And when you step through those ropes, you never in your lifetime feel more alive. And it's such a cool thing to go in there and test yourself with just another person and find out how you stack up. And win or lose, you still get to walk away with that feeling, knowing that you do what hardly anybody ever will. And that goes for the critics and anybody else. They don't understand that feeling, but that's what it's about.
And Joel, one thing that's always attracted me to boxing is it is one-on-one. There is nobody else in there to help you. It is a true one-on-one sport. A lot of people help you get ready. They're in the corner, that kind of stuff. But you know what I mean? It's you and him. Either you win or he wins. And it's the only sport that has a true world champion. There's soccer champions over there and there's soccer champions here and football, different stuff. But like when you're the boxing, even MMA exists in the United States because the UFC is such a big monopoly type deal with MMA. But when you're a boxing world champion, that's really a world champion. So I love that part of it. I'm so glad you got back in this, man. I know there's a lot of people that's coming to watch you and that kind of stuff. Give me some shout outs and stuff, and we'll check back with you here in a little bit, but give me some shout outs to the people that's allowing you to go and train and do all that kind of stuff.
Well, you know what? First and foremost, man, I can't thank my wife enough, Michelle. She is super supportive of whatever it is that I choose to do because she knows that it brings out the best in me. So she's really supportive and does anything necessary to help. Of course, she's also a heck of an athlete. It's really humbling to work out with her. She was a D1 softball player for 4 years, started as a freshman. So, you can imagine what she's used to doing, but hard to work out with her, but she's a lot of encouragement. everybody that I mentioned before that I train with, they're all great to give us some help. My law partner Calvin there at Baker and Hunacre, he's super supportive. Other than that, it's pretty much just us against the world, getting ready to go, man. Just getting ready to go.
Hey, I'm excited. Joe Baker, Jared Burns in the capital city of Charleston, West Virginia. Can't wait to see it. You're one of the co-main events. You're going to have a long wait that night, 20 fights. You'll be like number 18 or 19. So you got a little bit of a wait.
I'll bring a book.
Yeah, that ovation you had back in March 24th of 2012. I can't wait to see what it's like this time. Thanks so much for getting on here. He's the Outlawyer. He's Joe Baker. June 18th coming up. Tickets are on sale now. They're all over our Facebook page. You can get them at fightertix.com/king. It will be live stream pay-per-view at combatsportsnow.com and HD. If you buy it, you can watch it the rest of your life for free. We're really excited about the event. I felt like we'd put together the best card we ever had. We just needed a candle to go on top of that cake. And here you are, brother. You're in the Outlawyer.
Yeah, man. We'll show up and see what happens. Thanks for the invitation.
All right. Hey, I'm going to check back with you during fight week, a few days before the event. We'll talk with you for a few minutes, see how things have went leading up to it, and look forward to seeing you then, man.
Sounds good.